Hi, I'm Stefan, the BMW DIY guy, and do you want to improve the bland exhaust tone out of your brand new G87 M2? I'll show you how. All right, y'all, so let's talk about this project a little bit and the reasons why you might want to do this yourself. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while and you saw my previous F87 M2 Competition, you saw Active Autowerke from the downpipes all the way back. I loved their products on my car, and from the moment I ordered this new G87 M2, I was reaching out to Active and talking to them on what options they were going to have for this car, because I knew that this would have a similar challenge. It's not really a problem, but it's a challenge. Now, the OEM exhaust, you have two turbos up at the top that are firing alternately. And as that comes down the exhaust line, you get a pulse effect out your exhaust. And it may not give you that little bit deeper, a little bit more beefy exhaust sound that you're looking for. In previous F series models, they even called them a lawnmower. So I was really interested to see on what they were going to have for an equal length mid pipe, because what they've done is that you take out your existing OEM mid, which is of different lengths, and you add the Active Autowerke equal length mid pipe, because they've worked all the distances out, because one has to be a little bit longer, one has to be a little bit shorter to get it all worked out, because your turbos are not the same distance either. So they've done a fantastic job in designing an equal length mid pipe for the brand new G87 M2, and I could not wait to get it on my car. I want to show you how you do it. It's really not that hard. Now, I'm always going to say this, always, always, always. So obviously the car is going to be in the air today. I've already got my car up on my brand new Quickjacks 6000s. If you haven't checked out my video on that, please do. They are a fantastic tool and I highly recommend them. But anytime you have your car in the air, please do it safely. You can do this work with ramps or jacks and jack stands or Quickjacks or something similar. And you can do this at home, which is why I'm making this video. But do not put your car up on a jack alone. If you're going to use a jack and bring up the back end, make sure to use jacks and jack stands. I have seen jacks fail. It's a 50-cent part. It breaks. Your car comes down. Now, if a car comes down on its own, it could be bad. If you're underneath it, that's really bad. Okay? So I'm always going to caution that first. Make sure that you're on a secure, stable platform and level. You're using race ramps, you're using jacks and jack stands, or I highly recommend the Quickjacks, which I absolutely love. They're really safe and really strong, and I have no concerns being underneath my car. Okay? So first thing you want to do is get your car in the air. Let's crawl underneath. I'm going to show you what we're going to be working on today. All right, y'all, so here we are underneath the car. Let's take a look at the entire exhaust line so we know what we're looking at and the work that we're going to be doing. Now I'm going to share all the different socket sizes and tools and everything that you need to do this work, but you really only need a few simple tools. So now, starting here at the rear of the car, one of the very first things we want to look at, and I'll get my hand out of the shadow, you should see 3 sets of dimples. 1, 2, 3. I'll come back to this when we actually cut them, but we're going to be cutting at the middle dimple on both sides. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, we're going to cut right at the middle. I'm going to show you that as we get there. But as we work our way up the exhaust line, you can see our brace here in the middle. We're going to be replacing that. We're going to be pulling these bolts out here after we make the cut, but this brace is going to be replaced as we go. And as you can see, as we come up the exhaust line, you can see how it splits down both sides. We've got mid-body resonators here and here as we come all the way up. And then we also have the crossover pipe here at the top that we're going to be pulling off as well. Okay, so you can see all these different pieces that we go through. We're going to be unhooking the mid pipes here from the center portion. But this really isn't hard, and you only need a few simple tools as you do this work. Okay, so now one of the very first things you're going to do, and I'm going to grab a large hose clamp, is I'm going to take a large hose clamp and put it around the pipe, because that allows me to make sure that I make an even mark. So get yourself a medium to large hose clamp, put it around this pipe, and then use a pencil to mark all the way around on both sides. Okay, so I'll get that set up and I'll show you what that looks like. But it's a really simple and an easy trick to make sure that you get a straight line, so when we cut this, we're not scalloping or causing any problems. Okay, so go ahead and get your hose clamp and a pencil, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so I still got the hose clamp on this side because I just wanted to show you what this looked like. Just tightened it down so it's nice and straight all the way around the pipe, and then draw a really bold pencil line. You can always use a permanent marker or whatever you got handy. On this side, you can see my line already that's here. It goes right through those middle dimples. Now, a couple of things. You can use whatever you want to cut this. You can use a Sawzall. I'm a big fan of Hackzall because it's actually a little bit smaller and lets you manipulate the blade a little bit easier. You don't have the length and size of a Hackzall, but I've definitely used a lot of Hackzalls to cut pipes. So also, in addition, this may sound silly, but make sure to wear eye and or face protection. Cutting an exhaust, I took some hot metal into the eye a couple of years ago, and it took about a month to heal. It was really a big deal. Okay, so I just have a simple, cheap, full-face plastic shield. It's nothing serious. It cost me like $2, and it keeps hot metal out of my face, because as you cut this, you want to be looking and be very close, you know, and looking to make sure you've got a good, clean, straight cut all the way across. Okay, now I'm going to spare you the cutting sound because that's kind of awful, but take your Sawzall or Hackzall, cut through both, and then we're going to work our way up the pipe. But I'll show you what it looks like when both of these are cut. All right, so there we go. We got two nice clean cuts. Like I said, I highly recommend a Hackzall. It's easier to control than a Sawzall, has about the same amount of power. But use what tool that you have. I mean, you could always do it manually. It's just going to take a while. It could be kind of tiring. So it's not a bad investment of a tool to have. All right, so now let's roll up and go to the other end, and we're going to start detaching your midpipe. All right, so here we are up at the top. You've got 2 13mm nuts on both sides of your midpipe, so go ahead and pull those off, which is going to get your pipe essentially free. We're going to take the mid-body brace after that, but I'll show you what that looks like. So go ahead and take these 4 nuts off next. All right, so once you have those 4 nuts off at the top, you've got your mid-body hanger right here, which has a 13mm bolt in it that's holding this in place. And then you come down and you have these 13mm here, forgive the strobing of my light, 1, 2 underneath my magnet, 3 on each side. These deeper ones that are underneath, don't take those out. So it's just 3 on this crossbody brace. Okay, so once you pull the mid-body hanger, this pipe will be pretty much laying on your crossbody brace. So when you pull that off, you can pull this whole thing off. Do be careful, though. The one thing I'm really careful about when I take this down is I don't let it sag super hard, because what I don't want it to do is bend those posts at the other end. Now that's a pretty slim chance, but I'm just very careful. So what I actually usually will do is I will take off the mid-body brace, because if you take off the mid one, the mid-body brace is holding up the pipe. And as you take that off, you might be struggling to hold the pipe in place and the mid-body brace. So I usually take the mid-body brace off, which leaves only that single bolt right there holding this whole thing up. At that point, you can take your 13mm socket, you can brace this up with a jack stand, you can brace it up with one hand while you take that bolt off and hold it up in place as it comes loose, and then walk it down a little bit and out and off those posts at the other end. Okay, so go ahead and take all of that off, get this set aside, and I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. Sorry, one quick addition. There's 2 hangers. There's the mid-body hanger over here, and then there's this hard point that's not on a traditional flexible hanger. Go ahead and take that off as well. With the mid-body pipe out, and I've laid out the new Active Autowerke EL pipe kind of on top of it so you can see how it all lays out. So you can see how all these pieces fit together. You can see how the ends here, because you'll have one shorter end that's going to go on the driver's side. This longer piece goes down on the passenger side. You've got a Torque clamp that's going to connect all of these as you go through, as it comes all the way down. So it's cutting out all of these mid-body resonators, which really makes a huge difference. Now, one other thing you're going to want to do is you have your hanger. You've got a solid metal hanger up there that replicates the metal hanger of that, but you've got this flexible hanger here. So you're going to want to grab this and work it off this post and transfer it to the new one. I also usually lay these pipes out so I can transfer in the right orientation. So I make sure like my hanger is in the same orientation. Now you can get a tool that kind of opens backwards, you know, where pliers clamp, it actually opens backwards to help pry these off. I find that when they're new, they come off pretty easily. So just turn and torque them and it'll come off, and then slide it onto the new post. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is transfer your hanger, move it over, and then we're going to take and move all of these pipes underneath, including the new cross brace, which I'll show you here in just a second. Now, the shorter pipe, we can kind of attach on its own because it will hold, it's light enough, it'll hold on its own. Obviously, the big one down here comes all the way down quite a bit, so we're going to have to be just a little bit more judicious about that when we hang it up. But next steps are transfer the hanger, and then we're going to start moving your two upper pipes, the straight and the curved. We're going to move them underneath and get them hung up. All right, so once you're underneath, you can actually hang the longer and curved top piece first because it has this bracket right here. So just put it up and over the posts. Now on both sides, you've got gaskets. Now, being that this is a brand new car, those gaskets are going to be in great shape. If for whatever reason you had a little bit older car, I've definitely replaced those silver gaskets you can see on both sides if they get a little bit chewed up. In this case, they're absolutely brand new, so I'm not worried about them. So I slid the pipe on this end. I haven't put the two 13mm nuts on there yet. I just held this up here to the post and secured it just kind of finger tight for now to help hold this in place. Now, the other thing you're going to want to take a look at is actually putting the new mid-body brace on back down here, right? So the new mid-body brace only has one orientation because of these 3 bolts. Because what you can do then is take the longer section and slide it up in here, and then your mid-body brace will help hold it up in place, and you don't have to try to be balancing it. Those Torque clamps that you have, you're going to have when you put the straight pipe back on this end, which you can put on. You'll put on a Torque clamp and you'll put on one here as well. I'll show you what that looks like. But go ahead and get your mid-body brace back on first, which is right here, the new one from Active. Get that secure, and then we're going to get the longer section up here up on top of the brace. So you can see I've got the new mid-body brace on by 1 bolt just to kind of hold it in place, right? I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it or anything else. Now I'm going to take the longer pipe and put it up and over the top of this, hold up the mid-body brace, and then put in the additional bolts on this side to help hold it all into place. Now, I'll have all the proper torque values for all these bolts in the video description and a little bit later, but this is to get that pipe up and help hold it into place so we can fit all of the Torque clamps and all of the rest of the clamps in place for the pipes. Okay, so go ahead and just slip the pipe up and over the top of the new mid-body brace and secure this with all 6 bolts. All right, so looking up at the top of the car with the pipes in place, go ahead and put those 13mm nuts back in just to hold the pipes in place. And these Torque clamps, you'll want to slide on to the pipe first and then slide them down. Now, mine are still loose, but you can start to slide them over the joins, right? They get over the join here, over the join there. I've got that mid-body hanger right there. I've got that nut on just kind of loosely, just enough to hold it all into place. And if we slide down to this end, I've got the 2 Torque clamps here as well. Now, the thing I really appreciate about Active Autowerke is that these are 13mm nuts as well on the Torque clamps, so you don't have to change tools or anything else like that. But these are just loosely in place right now, just to help hold it all. Now, what we need to do is work on fitment. And what I mean by that is that there are no rubs, nothing where it's touching the metal, where when it vibrates, it's going to buzz. Now, as you can tell with the crossbody brace, I've got a tremendous amount of space here already, which is good. So I reach down the body here, I've got good clearance all the way along this line right here. Now, also in addition, make sure that you've got your Torque clamps in a position where not only are they easy to get to, but they're not sticking down or in a strange position, or like if the flange was on this side, it might hit up against your heat shield. So in this case, I've got them to the inside, and when I tighten them down, I'm gonna have them at a slight angle to keep them away from the rest of the car body as well. But this is where you really wanna work on fitment. And you can see some places, so for example, you can see right there, clearance is super tight. I mean, really, really tight, okay? So this is where you wanna make sure that nothing is touching, and in addition, it's not touching when you vibrate it a little bit, right? You know, if car's moving or there's something going on, you don't want the pipe, you know, if it's a millimeter away, if it's vibrating, it's gonna touch. So my end clamps down here on the exhaust side, I'm probably going to tighten down because I've got all the clearance in the world that I need here, and I don't want that shifting as I adjust up here. Up here, I'm going to want to move this pipe. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to try to tip it a little bit. So I'm going to loosen that nut. I'm going to try to tip it out just a little to give myself just a little bit more clearance right there. Because you can see that is really tight. So there's a chance that that would probably hit. Okay, the other side is pretty straightforward. You've got a little bit of tight clearance on this side, but just double check it. I've got the mid hanger here as well, in just loosely. So there's no science really to this other than a little bit of art to make sure that you've got good clearance. Once you've got good clearance all the way around, tighten everything down. You can tighten down your 12s at that end, you can tighten down your hangers, you can tighten down the Torque clamps. Now, lastly, really quick, one thing I wanted to point out and remind you guys. So as we come down here and we look at our gaskets, forgive the shadows here, but as you look at the gaskets do not crush flat. I mean, these are expansion gaskets, so when you first took these off, you'd see that there actually is a little bit of a gap with the OEM pipe, right? There's a little bit of gap because the way these gaskets wedge into place. So as you tighten these down, this metal isn't flush. I mean, it doesn't come down and crush these things flat. That's a great way to ruin your gaskets. So make sure that they're down and snug, but if you've got a little bit of a gap here, which is probably somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 inch, that's correct on both sides. Okay, so check all of your fitment, go through, check all of your clearances. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done and all my Torque clamps are tight. Once you get that all tightened down and you checked all your fitment, I actually found a really effective test is just to hit the pipes. And the reason why I say that is because I checked my fitment all the way down all of the pipes and it seemed really, really good. Now I hit this one and sure enough, I could hear a little bit of a rattle right here. And this is where a little bit of the flare of the heat shield was coming down and touching the pipe. Okay, so now keep in mind this aluminum is pretty flexible. So if you can even flex it back a little bit. So I just pressed back the aluminum on that section and just bent it back ever so slightly. And now, all I hear is a solid pipe. I don't hear any buzz sound of like the pipe hitting something, right? I found that as a really effective way to check before you put it on the ground. Because obviously, I mean, you're gonna fire the car up and drive it and test it and do all that sort of stuff, but it's really kind of a bummer that when you get it down off your jacks or your Quickjacks and fire it up and you're like, oh crud, because you can hear something buzzing, right? And you gotta put it back up in the air. So, walk through, double check all of your fitment again, from the head to the tail, all the way down. We get all the way down here to the Torque clamps at this end. Make sure that everything is tight. You've got good clearance across all of your pipes. And if so, then you're done. So you can put your car back on the ground, go ahead and fire it up and test it, and make sure that it's all good to go. All right, y'all, so go ahead and wrap up, clean up, and put your tools away. And you can tell this is not a hard install. It only takes really only a couple of tools to get this work done. Now, I bet you're wondering, what's it sound like? Make sure to check out my comparison video because I'll have the stock and this new mid-pipe installed, and so you can get a good sound comparison of what it sounds like, because what I didn't want to do is make the install video overly long, or if you just want to hear what it sounds like, I didn't want you to have to watch the install video. So make sure to check that out. That'll be uploaded to my channel as well. But thank you to Active Autowerke for making such a fantastic product. I am really excited to have this on my car. And from my brief test, it makes a huge difference. So make sure to check out my comparison video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Please make sure to click like and subscribe. It honestly makes a huge difference to my channel, and I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I've got a ton of new content coming, and I'm really excited to bring it to you. I'll see you on my next video.